good evening. Yes, my name is Stuart. I'm the storyteller, and I love stories, and I love Christmas, particularly because there are so many stories, and there's so much history involved. Oh, are we tapping the mic? They didn't leave the mic on for me? Thanks, guys. Dreidel. No, again, my name is Stuart, and I love Christmas and I love stories, particularly because there are so many stories associated with the season, and there are so many traditions we celebrate, but rarely think about the whys and the wheres, and that's where the stories come from. I was actually recently reminded that today is St. Nicholas Day in most of Europe. Sinterklaasnik, if you will. So this is the story of why this is the day for St. Nicholas. Now this actually goes pre-St. Nicholas. This is Bishop Nicholas. Nicholas was a real person. He did exist. And he spent time in the priesthood. He worked his way up to bishop. Amusingly, the story of how he became the Bishop of Myra is he was returning from trips in the Holy Land and ended up in Myra, which we all know where that is. Yes? No. Right. He ended up in Myra, which is in Asia Minor. We all know where that is. Yes? No. It's now a region called Turkey. So the Bishop of Myra had recently passed, and they were having troubles getting somebody to fill the position. Rumor has it that they stated that the next person to walk through the door would be promoted to bishop. Well, guess who happened to walk through the door at that very moment? Nicholas, our friend. So that was how he became the Bishop of Myra, and apparently he was a very good bishop. He was known to go riding around the town in his great white horse, handing out treats and presents to people, taking care of the sick and the poor, etc. Now Nicholas also loved to entertain travelers, for his port city was known for having travelers from around the world. And one particular night he was entertaining sailors from a place called Holland. I know, strange and unusual place. Exactly. Full of windmills and tulips. Weirdly appointed hats. But Bishop Nicholas was so struck by the stories of Holland, he decided he must go visit immediately. So he calls to his servant, Black Piet, and he says, Black Piet, ready my ship. I shall sail immediately. I shall sail on the morrow. So he loaded his ship with oranges and sugar plums and toys, and he sailed to Holland. Now, unfortunately, this was also wintertime, and the seas were very, very rough. The ship was tossing horribly. All of the sailors were greatly afraid. The only person not afraid, in fact, was Bishop Nicholas, for he prayed and he calmed the seas. And this is the first miracle attributed to Bishop Nicholas. It takes 3 to become a saint. So they reached Holland without any further issue, and they offloaded the horse from the ship, and they filled sacks with oranges and sugar plums, and they went out. Do you guys know what a sugar plum is, yes? No, okay. See, so much stuff that we just accept. It's not little prunes dancing around in your head. Sugar plum is a candy-coated dried fruit, basically. So you would take dried fruit, coat it in candy. It was called a sugar plum because of the shape, not because it had anything to do with plums or prunes. So he goes out into Holland, carrying gifts and treats and toys for the children, and he would go up to the children and say, have you been a good child? And if the child said yes, because they were not stupid, Nicholas would then turn to the parents and say, have they truly been good? And if the parents agreed, then he gave the children a treat. If the parents hemmed or hawed or looked away, that's when Black Piet comes in with the switch and spanks them with the stick as punishment. It's true. Now his arrival was on December 5th. Go figure. So at the end of the day, as he's wandering around Amsterdam, he comes upon a house with children who are weeping. And he, being a holy man with great kindness in his heart, stops and listens. And they are bemoaning their fate. They have spent their inheritance. They have sold all the furniture. They have nothing left. They will be kicked out come the morning. The bishop takes pity. He reaches gently into the window and leaves a sack of coins for them, such that they may survive. He continues his travel through Holland. He comes upon another cottage. It is a small hovel. And he looks and he goes, these must be very poor people. I should help them. And he looks for a window that he might slip coins into, but there are no windows. It is such a small, poor hovel. There is only a single door shut against the cold. So the bishop wants to help, and Piet looks up and says, the chimney, my lord. So the bishop climbs up upon the roof, finds the chimney, sprinkles coins into the chimney. And you know what happens there, right? They land in the stockings, drying by the fire. So the bishop leaves. He goes and roams away. The next morning, the people in the hall will wake up and they find gold in their stockings. And they run out to the streets and cry, it's a miracle. By God, God has gifted us. And the neighbor had seen what Nicholas was doing. And he said, no, that was Bishop Nicholas. We should track him down and thank him. But he was gone. The bishop had left no sign. His ship was gone. Piet was gone. The horse was gone. But Bishop Nicholas swore that he enjoyed visiting so much, he would come back on the same day, the 5th. And then miracles happened on the 5th night, and the 6th is now celebrated as Sinterklaasnacht, or St. Nicholas Night. To this night, children leave hay and carrots for Nicholas's horse. They hang the stockings by the window in hopes that now St. Nicholas would be there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Merry Christmas.